Welcome back to Mystical Heart Tarot Readings. This is a special edition of Message from Spirit. This is a shadow edition. And if you're not familiar with the shadow, that is the shadow. The best way I can describe the shadow would be if you're in a situation and somebody says something to you and it triggers you, it upsets you. What caused that to happen? What caused that to begin with, that trigger? So that's what this one's about. And we're going to start with the oracle and work backwards on this one. So we start with the oracle first to see what it is in our shadow side that we might need to work on. It's not going to be for everybody. So this is for the collective. It may or it may not resonate. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Authentic self. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Uniqueness, individuality. A lot of times people do not present their true authentic self to others. And this is telling you maybe you need to work on that. Why is it that you don't show your authentic self, your authentic side? Why do you feel the need to show a different side to people? Maybe you show a different side to different people. Maybe it just depends on who the person is. And you're not being authentic when you do that. And we're going to use the tarot to see why that might be. As I said, this may or may not resonate with everybody or anybody. Take what part of it does resonate and leave what part does not. All right, what do we have? Our mind is deceiving us. Our mind, our thoughts are deceiving us. This is something I feel that stems from maybe childhood traditions. Perhaps we were forced to act a certain way. when we were younger. And if we didn't, then we may not have felt the love that we wanted. The love we so desired in the family unit may not have been there for us, may not have been focused on us. And so we may have had to pretend to be somebody else that we were not in order to get that attention, that focus that we wanted. Superficial. The High Priestess in this deck. This represents us being superficial, not being our authentic self. And again, that comes from our childhood. It could be that we grew up in a bigger family. It may be that we didn't feel the fulfillment in childhood we would have liked to have felt. We may not have felt that fulfillment that maybe our peers felt. And so, in that case, we learned how to be superficial. In other words, not be our true self, not be our authentic self, in order to satisfy everybody around us. Not speaking up. We didn't speak up back then because the focus was on us acting a certain way that was not really our true self. We didn't feel the love. We only felt the love. We only felt this love from our family and friends when we were not our authentic self. And so it's time now to become your authentic self and be assertive, be direct, be yourself. You are a unique individual, and you're not the person you pretended to be in childhood to satisfy those around you. So perhaps somebody said something. This is going back to the example to help explain the shadow. Perhaps somebody said something that resonated with you from childhood, from somebody that may have gotten upset with you for acting a certain way or speaking a certain way to where you had to pretend you were somebody else. And it may have triggered those thoughts from when you were younger. So, in that case, if that were the case, you would look at your younger self and work your way through that part of your shadow, your younger self, how to overcome. You would work on how to overcome having to pretend to be fake and not authentic. If somebody says something, this is only an example, if somebody says something that takes you back to that time period and upsets you, you know why it upsets you. Because you were forced to be somebody that you was not back then. You were forced to be somebody that was not your authentic self to begin with. And so you have to work on that. If somebody says something else, you have to be able to get past it without being triggered by it, without having it taking you back to the time when you couldn't be yourself. I hope that helps. You understand your shadow side. This is just one aspect of it. If it hasn't disappeared, there is ways you can deal with your shadow side listed on my community wall. And another way may be with professional guidance as well. I always recommend professional guidance when working with the shadow side. If it's something very serious, you really need to get that professional guidance. I send much love, many blessings to everybody. As always, I'll see you back next time. Have a wonderful day.